Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another video. It's been a little bit, been really busy in real life, going through some stuff, but I received this beautiful Wolverine custom model kit by Dragon Collector. It is a custom piece that you acquire through a Patreon or being in contact with the sculptor. I'm not sure about the process, but when I saw prototype photos, contacted the sculptor and kind of asked him like, "Hey, how can I get a hold of this piece? And is there like a model kit version of it, unpainted kit?" He got me in contact with the guy who did the prototype. So he offered me to print me one, and this is what I got in the mail. I'm really impressed by the quality. It does have some issues. I'm not gonna lie. Um, Things that are typical to 3D print. Um, you know, Fitting issues, places where the printing kind of, instead of like making this like flat, it kind of looks like it had tendency to smooth it out when it's supposed to be real sharp and real solid, so that it keys into the part that it needs to go into. And this might be a curing problem. I'm not too familiar with 3D printing, as I've said before. Like, my 3D printer is broken, so don't really have like a lot of experience with it. But it looks like the resin um, is not curing fast enough, so that instead of just going solid, it kind of smooths out all of the edges because it's not cured yet. And then you get these rounded off edges when it should be kind of straight and match perfectly. But those are just kind of issues that you can deal with sanding and sculpting. And there are a few little dots here and there from the supports. Not really an issue. Kind of calculated that would happen. um he comes in a lot of parts. The guy that printed it out for me did include magnets, but they're not as strong as I had hoped, and a lot of the magnets came out, were pulled out by the other part that it connected to. So it means either one side or the other is not glued in properly. I don't really mind the fact that they came out. I'm gonna glue them anyways. They are all kind of parts that could do without magnets anyway. So if that would have saved a lot of time for the person printing this out, it's kind of a reminder for next time that um, I'm gonna leave the magnets out and just gonna either deal with pinning or gluing, depending on who the project is for. I do intend to kind of keep this project for myself. Um, but then again, who knows what the future will bring. But for now, it's just an amazing piece. Um, Sculpted by Dragon Collector, uh, printed by Diego Pacheco. Um, Hope I pronounced that right. He's from South America. Did an excellent job printing it. It does have some, like I said, some fitting issues, which I'm gonna have to repair with some, sculpting and kind of, that's what it is. What it is. You know, Nonetheless, regardless of the fitting issues, I think Diego did an excellent job. The detail is amazing. You can see all the wrinkles in the fabric, the damage, the veining in the arms. You can see that the fabric has some leatherish kind of structure to it. He's got some pouches. The X needs to be fixed a little bit. Hopefully I can show you guys what the problem is. Hello, if the camera wants to focus, that is. Maybe zoom out a little bit. There we go. See the X is interrupted on these sides, so I'm not sure if that's supposed to be like that, because it is a belt, and the belt clicks into one way or another, so maybe that's intended. I'll have to look at the prototype photos, but kind of looks like it's intended to be that way. Then again, I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm just gonna fill it up and make it an X. We'll see. But as you can see, it's a really tight fit, and then it's not a perfect fit, so I have some sanding to do. Also, it's very soft resin. I have some cracks here and there. I had a key break off just because it was still really soft. Diego, if you're watching, I'm not sure if you know what the issue was, but the key between these two parts broke off. Just put them in, pushed them together, tried to get them out. It broke off like that. So it felt like it was very brittle, very soft. Not sure if that's a curing problem or whatever. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure on the 3D stuff that goes on. Diego might know better than me, but not really big, huge issue. I was gonna glue those parts anyways, but it will just be a little bit more complicated when the painting process starts. But then again, just tape it off, or gonna mask it off, and then we can move on to the legs. As you can see, you can see the leather effect. It's really subtle, so I'm gonna have to be careful when I'm priming it or painting it, because I want to preserve that detail. So I'm gonna have to be gentle with paint usage, because I want to bring that detail out. Then again, the stitching is super detailed, really nice. There are some small layer lines right here. Nothing I can't fix with some sanding and some filling if needed. But this looks like a micro crack. Not sure. Just something I'll have to watch out for. This needs some sanding. Again, not a big issue. There's some wrinkle effect sculpted in. Then we can move on to the other leg. Same thing, the leather fabric effect detail. This needs a little bit of sanding. Oh, and we can move on to the feet, which have kind of like the same kind of leather effect, the crocodile kind of crocodile boot effect, I would say. Really nice. And again, these are excellent. There's a little bit of a gap there, which I'm gonna need to fill up. At first, when I saw photos, I wasn't sure about these pointy things, but the pointy boots on top. So I was kind of, deliberating if I was gonna round them off. Certain Wolverine outfits have them rounded off a little bit less high, but now that I've got the piece in hand, it's not that bad. On the photos, it kind of looked worse than it really is. I kind of like it that way. I think I'm just gonna leave it like that. Then we can move on to the base, which is a very gory scene. It kind of reminds me of the other kind of Wolverine official licensed pieces that they're out there, where he's standing on top of a couple of ninjas that he killed. The base has a lot of different pieces. There's the hand that got sliced, keys into an arm on the bottom. Right here, there's the X-Men logo. There's a leg. Also the magnet came out, but not a really big issue. It kind of fits. If I push it down and glue it, it'll be perfect. It's not one of those pieces that you want separate anyways. Then there's a severed head, and this comes out also. The key didn't hold. Then there is something I'll have to kind of pay attention to. Diego, if you're watching this, I don't know if it happened during shipping. This could have been from shipping, because the box came in a little bit damaged. Like they played like football with it or something. I don't know. But as you can see, there's a crack right there, a crack right there. Nothing I can't fix, but might be something you want to look out for future kind of orders or something like that. Don't know if it happened because of the curing process from the resin, or if this got bumped during shipping and then it kind of cracked or whatever. Just something to be watching out for next time. Then you have this magnet did hold, the keys in there. Still a little bit wet because I cleaned the entire model. It had some resin residue on it. It looked like some uncured resin from inside the hollow parts kind of leaked onto some of the parts during shipping. So it had some resin here. You can still see a little bit left over. So I cleaned it with alcohol and then gave it like a dishwasher soap soak. Guess I'll have to kind of go back in and Gonna wash it again. I'll need to wash it in its entirety when I'm done fixing every all of the fitting issues. Here's a head that's been slashed at the throat, and it's been impaled by the 3 Wolverine claws. And again, super nice battle damage details. I really like the ripped clothing. It's just really detailed. No issues here at all. And there's a head that got slashed in two with the brain slashed. There is a hand with broken fingers. You can see 2 of the fingers right here. And he's kind of holding up his middle finger. And then there's the guy with the eye that's coming out. Now the base comes, the upper base comes in 2 parts. As you can see, the fitting is not 100% perfect. Not even close to 100%. So I'm gonna have to fix it. Again, I'm gonna sand it really thoroughly in between. Kind of see if I can make it fit like that. The lower base comes in 4 parts, but also has these huge gaps in between. It has the same issue as other parts where, for example, I sanded this real smooth, real sharp, but it was rounded off, if that makes sense. Like I explained earlier, the resin didn't cure all the way through during the printing process. It didn't harden out, and then it when it hardens out, gets exposed to UV light during the printing process, it kind of rounds off the edges, and it's not looking as sharp as these edges. I think that's the same thing that happened here from when I was looking at it. So I'm gonna have to sand all of the connection points and make sure that they're really flat and they fit well together. Then the upper base will fit a lot more snug, but from the looks of it does need a lot of filling. Then again, it's not a huge issue. It is an issue, but it's not a huge issue. Kind of just here you can see there's a lot of space in between these 2 parts. So for example, here the arm, it would mean that if I leave it like that and I fill it up, I'll have to resculpt an entire part of the arm. So gonna have to see how I can make that fit. But here's a hand holding onto his intestines, which is kind of fun. Again, battle damage in the fabric, which is really nice. Kind of reminds me of the new kind of Wolverine Berserker statue. I think it was, don't know the company that released it, where Wolverine is kind of going berserk on these ninjas, has all of these arrows and swords right through his body. His face is all scarred up and stuff like that. You can see the adamantium underneath his blood. But this is kind of a more simple version of that. It reminds me of a Sideshow piece, which has a similar pose. It's still different than this one. The claws, I obviously have the claws. Where are the claws? Here are the claws. I put them in these plastic bags for safekeeping, left and then right. I already had to do some work on them. The right blades fit very snug. Had to sand all the edges. They were kind of still had some leftover residue from the supports. Sanded that off. Had to sand some primer off. I'm gonna talk to Diego for future projects. No magnets, no primer, because it just complicates the building process. Because the primer also kind of gets in the way of a perfect fit between two parts. When there's a perfect fit and then you prime it, it's no longer a perfect fit. So for the left claws, they were very loose, so I couldn't kind of display them, but they fit. I have to kind of reshape one of the blades. It kind of has a bend to it, so I have to reshape it with some hot water. But then again, you can, from the pose, you can kind of imagine that the blades are shooting out. Just very, very nice. Then again, like the head sculpt was very nice. I like the more realistic kind of approach. The simplified, not overly complicated, but then again interesting enough for display. I like the simplicity and yet it's dynamic. I really, really like this piece, and when I saw it, I was like, yeah, I gotta have this. And Diego's price was amazing. Definitely convinced me to kind of return to him for future projects, for kind of ideas for the future. I have another X-Men piece that I want him to do. I probably have several X-Men pieces that I want him to do. So we'll see how that works out in the future. But yeah, man, I'm really happy. It's it's gonna be a lot of work, but then again, I like to make videos. I like to do live streaming. This will be a perfect kind of project for Twitch, for YouTube. Kind of do the whole build together with viewers, fellow kit builders and stuff like that for X-Men fans. If you're an X-Men fan and if you like building models and painting models, then definitely get in contact with me. I'll make something happen for you. But originally, in order to get the 3D file for this model, you had to subscribe to like a Patreon or some membership thing in order to get access to it. But then again, like, if you're interested, let me know. I might be able to make something happen for you. I was able to get it, just by talking to people. So I'm very, very happy that I did. And the size is excellent. It's not overly big. It's not small. But I'm not sure. The guy who printed it for me said it was from 1/4 scale. Not sure about scale anymore these days because of all the predators that I've done in other videos where we went through the the scaling discussion, and I'm not too sure these days, but it's a perfect size. Not complaining at all. If all my statues had this size, I would be very happy. So for future kind of projects, I would go for the same size. Now, obviously, Wolverine is kind of in the comics, kind of like a small dude. He's bulky, but he's kind of small. So that might be part of it. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I really love this pose, man. And then, the bodies beneath him have so much detail. You can go really nuts with the outfits, the ninja outfits and stuff like that. yeah, I really like it. All these pieces that come off. Uh, yeah, like really cool. Um, like I said, man, simple and yet dynamic enough for just to be a fun, cool display piece. Um, I mean, yeah, excellent job. Dragon Collector. I think Jackie Davis was the. Let me double check. Jackie David is the sculptor. Um, so yeah, I wanna thank Diego for kind of giving me the opportunity to get a hold of this piece, for helping me out getting this printed. Um, and stay tuned for the building process. I'm probably gonna live stream tomorrow and do some prepping, some building. Gonna start with the base, obviously, and I'm gonna do the building process for you guys, and hopefully I can get some nice videos on YouTube for you guys to watch. But yeah, really like it. So excellent job from the guys at Dragon Collector. Excellent job from Diego. Then again, I got some tips for you to maybe kind of improve your fitting issues. For me, it's not a really big deal. I like these kind of things. I kind of like to work on these projects. Gives me something to do. It's an interesting project to do during live streaming and for YouTube videos and stuff like that. So I don't really mind. I kind of calculate that kind of work into my project anyways. I kind of expect things to not be perfect. Expect things to be not fitting 100%. So for me, that is not really a big issue. Time wise, obviously, it's gonna take some more time than with a piece that is perfect. Um, but for other people who are just like make it fit and paint it, that might be a little bit of an issue. So Diego, if you're watching again, like, hit me up. I could give you some kind of advice on how to make this fit a little bit better. I would personally, for the next project, I wouldn't go with the primer. I would leave that off. I would go with the bare resin and let people decide what kind of primer they are going to use anyways, because when you take it out of the box, mine had all sorts of residue from the resin on it. So I had to clean it with alcohol. I had to clean it with dish soap. So I, on certain spots the primer came off. So for next projects, I would leave the primer off, and I wouldn't do the magnets. I would leave it up to the kit builder to decide what to do, either by pinning a model, gluing a model. I personally, for the head, for example, I would ship this separately. But for the body, for example, if you hold it like this, you can definitely ship this as one part. If you wrap it up in bubble wrap, if you protect it enough, you can definitely get away with shipping it like that. But the head obviously has delicate parts on the sides from his mask. So that is, and the nose. That's definitely like a weak spot. So you want to keep the head separate. But all of these things, like evaluate like how a statue is put together, and then kind of decide, okay, I can ship this glued together, or have a kit builder decide, am I gonna pin this model, I'm gonna glue it. Then the kit builder can decide, is it for my own collection, then I'm gonna glue it. If it's for somebody else, I'm gonna pin it, magnetize it, have the customer kind of decide what to do. And by leaving out the primer and leaving out the magnets, you can make it a little bit cheaper for a customer as well, and kind of leave it up to them. 'Cause I have magnets, I have pins, I have glue, so I got all that stuff, and I would imagine other kind of kit builders to have the same thing. That would be my kind of critique, positive feedback. It's not a rip, or it's not negative feedback whatsoever. Like his 3D detail is amazing. I personally cannot do it any better, so no complaints whatsoever there. But for future kind of customer, future projects that we're gonna work on, it's definitely something to be you know to be looking out for, basically. But I've rambled on enough. Hope you guys kind of like it. Like I said, there's more coming on this project. Like I said in my other videos, whenever I get a new statue, I'm gonna make sure that I'm gonna build the piece first before I'm gonna paint it. I want to make sure that it fits perfectly together, and then at least I can display it, and then we can move on to the painting process at some point. I'm waiting on an airbrush that has been sent to me. I'm waiting on some other airbrushing supplies before I can start painting my project again. I'm gonna work on a Predator 1/6 scale by Naren, but I'm gonna have to wait for some supplies to arrive. They're coming from Asia, so the shipping is a little bit long. So hopefully at the end of the month or something like that, I can start fully focusing on painting as well. But for now, I hope to see you guys soon. I have like a spider gremlin coming in the mail pretty soon. There's a little bit of a backstory behind that, which is gonna be some content for another video. But I'll do an unboxing and a kind of a review on that as well. Hopefully it'll arrive this week somewhere, maybe beginning of next week. We'll see about when it's coming. Tomorrow I'll hopefully be live streaming, working on this model, and I'll see you guys real soon.